everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today we are going to learn about the background of the businesses, right? Our subject is business and accounting studies, right? Under this subject, our first lesson is background of the businesses. Okay. Background of the businesses. This is our fundamental topic in business and accounting studies subject. Whether you are just starting your studies or already know a little about businesses, this session will give you a clear picture of how businesses work in the society. We will discuss these areas, right? What are the businesses, right? What these businesses are, why they exist, the types of businesses, the resources they use, and the people who are connected to them, right? And to make it more easier and to make it more interesting, I will also give you examples from the Sri Lankan context, right? Okay, let's start. Okay, the basic concepts about businesses, right? Business concept, right? You can see the definition for the business. A business is an economic activity which manufactures or provides different goods and the services in order to fulfill humans' needs and the wants. Okay, a business is an economic activity where goods and services are produced or provided to satisfy human needs and the wants, right? For example, in Sri Lanka, Cargill's Food City provides groceries, right? Hills offers household products and Pickney provides a service, right? Pickney provides a service, transport service, right? So all of these are businesses because they are offering something valuable in exchange for money, right? That is why we call these are economic activities, right? These are economic activities, right? So remember this simple idea. Businesses exist to create value by fulfilling people's needs and the wants, while also earning profits for their owners. This is the simplest idea, right? What is that? Businesses exist to create value by fulfilling people's needs and the wants while also earning profits for their owners. Okay. Every business starts with an idea, right? Every business starts with an idea. This idea is the business concept, right? For example, right, the concept behind Pickme was to use mobile apps to connect passengers with drivers, right? And the concept behind Cargill's Food City is to bring affordable groceries to every part of Sri Lanka, right? And the concept behind the Dialogue Kashyata is to connect people through telecommunication services, right? So, a strong business concept always answers the question, what problem am I solving my customers, right? What problem am I solving for my customers? That should be the hidden concept behind the businesses, right? Okay. So for your levels, due to you are O-level students, right? Due to you all are O-level students, right? The business concept should be this. This is the concept of business, right? It means what's the meaning of the businesses, right? For the definition for the businesses, right? the definition for the businesses, right? A business is an economic activity which manufactures or provides different goods and the services in order to fulfill human needs and the wants. Okay. And let's see what is this business objectives, right? Business objectives. Businesses have many objectives. Let's go through them with examples from Sri Lankan context, right? So, fulfilling consumers' needs and the wants, right? For instance, Keel supermarkets focus on offering fresh vegetables and groceries to meet daily household needs. Okay, and uh, another object is earning profit. Every company, from small tea shops to gains like Mars Holdings and Dialog Kashiata, right? So must earn profits to survive, right? Businesses also need to be survived, right? So to survive, they need to earn money. They need to earn profits, right? So therefore, earning profit is a main objective of every organization. So another one is increasing customer satisfaction, right? Dialog keeps improving internet speed and coverage to satisfy customers, right? And to increasing customer satisfaction, there are another three sub-objectives are here. You can see increasing the quality of goods and the services, generating employment opportunities, employee welfare. Right? These are sub-objectives that comes under the increasing customer satisfaction objective. Right? So let's start talking about the examples for these sub-objectives. Right? So improving quality of goods and services, right? As an example, we can take local apparel exporters like Brandix constantly upgrade their quality to meet global standards, right? And generating employment, right? Generating employment opportunities. Companies like Hemas Group and Mars Holdings employ thousands of Sri Lankans, right? They have given job opportunities to thousands, more than thousands of Sri Lankan peoples, right? And employee welfare. Some banks like Sampath Bank, Commercial Bank provide training programs and good benefits to their staff, right? Uh, they are awarding their staff members, right? Likewise, they are offering some kind of benefits for their employees. So, business objectives go beyond profit. They also include responsibility towards customers, employees, and the society. Okay. Other one is consumer needs and the wants, right? So now let's think about needs versus wants, right? I already have shared a video regarding this needs and the wants, right? You can also watch that too, right? So I will explain this with the examples, right? So needs like rice, vegetables, milk powders, right? And etc. Right? We can purchase those vegetables, milk powders, uh, rice, right? And those things from the Cargills or Keels, right? Cargill supermarkets or Keel supermarkets. Wants are KFC, Pizza Hut, right? McDonald's meals, right? We don't need them for survival, but we want them for enjoyment. Another example, owning a simple mobile phone is a need, but upgrading to the latest iPhone every year is a want, right? It means the needs are essential. See, needs are essential for everyone and wants are the desires. They are not essentials, right? Wants are not essentials, right? So if we take an example, right? Now I'm hungry, right? And now I'm hungry. So then I would like to eat a bun, a bun, right? And there is a person, another person, right? She also hungry. She's also hungry, but she needs a pizza, right? Then the same need, we have same need, we have hungry. That is the same need, but to fulfill that, we are seeking for a different kind of wants, right? That's the difference, right? So needs are essential, wants are not essentials. Those are desires, right? And needs do not change over time. It's a common, right? Wants are always changing, right? And needs non-fulfillment can lead to adverse outcome. Wants non-fulfillment may result in mental distress, right? So means if we have like if we take the same example, right? Now I'm hungry, so then I can fulfill my hunger, my that need by eating rice. Or if I can't find now the rice, then I can fulfill it from another food like roti or stripping hoppers, right? Or with any kind of another food item, right? So, but if I have a specific want to eat pizza, right? If I will be unable to find that just now, so that non-fulfillment may result in mental distress sometimes, right? Okay, all individuals have the same basic needs, right? And the wants may differ according to different individuals, right? Okay, let's move into the next concept. Categories of businesses. Categories of businesses, right? In Sri Lanka, we can see both categories of businesses clearly. Not only in Sri Lanka, right? But also in the worldwide, we can see both categories of businesses clearly. Like, but I take Sri Lankan examples for you to understand, you to take a good idea, clear idea, right? Okay. For an example, commodity manufacturing businesses. For the commodity manufacturing business, we can take as examples Malibon, Munchie, right? Malibon and Munchie companies are manufacturing biscuits. Elephant House Company manufactures ice creams and the beverages. And Mars Holding manufactures apparel, right? So those are the goods providing companies, right? Goods, right? They the commodity, right? They are providing, they are producing commodities, right? Like stationaries, Atlas Company, they produce like stationary items, right? Uh, and there are some service providing companies as well. What are those? Like Dialog Company, Mobitel Company, right? They are providing telecommunication services. And the banks like Sampath Bank, People's Bank, BOC Bank, neither. So they are providing financial services, right? Uh, thus, both manufacturing and service providing businesses are important for our economy, right? As humans, we need both services and goods, right? Both services and goods we need. Okay. And let's move into the last concept, factors of production. This one, factors of production, right? To run a business, four key resources called factors of production are needed, right? Let's take a Sri Lankan business example for each, right? The lands, tea estates in Nuwara Eliya or rubber plantation in Kagala use land as a key resource. Lands, right? They use these lands as a key resources, right? You can take that idea, right? And capital, right? Capital. Cargill's uses capital for supermarkets, cold storage facilities, and distribution drugs. Capital means the things that we use as the foundation for the business, right? So, right, those are the examples. And entrepreneurship, the founder of each and every company we can take as the entrepreneur, right? But you have to remember one thing, right? All the businessmen are not entrepreneurs, but all the entrepreneurs are businessmen. Okay, just remember that after few times, after some little more time, you will understand the difference, right? Okay, like as an example, the founder of PickMe brought the idea of app-based transport to Sri Lanka, combining land, labor, and capital with the innovation, right? This entrepreneur is the one who is handling these all the resources in order to achieve his or her ambition, right? Entrepreneur is the one who is handling this land, capital, labor, is all the resources, right? Without these four factors, businesses cannot operate, right? Labor is the staff and the employees, right? Okay. Okay. Now we have discussed and we have gained a proper and clear understanding about business concepts. Okay. Let's move into this slide. Right. Okay. Stakeholders of businesses. Right. Stakeholders of businesses. Now let's discuss stakeholders. These are the people or groups connected to a business, right? The people or the groups who are connected to a business, we can identify as the stakeholders of businesses. For example, if we take Kiel supermarkets, right? The owners, right? And the customers of them, right? And the managers, employees, financial institutions like the banks that they borrowing some kind of loans or something, right? So these all the parties are the stakeholders of that businesses. We can separate those stakeholders into two categories, right? Like internal stakeholders and the external stakeholders. Here I have done a mistake, right? Right? Here you can see internal stakeholders, but clear it should be the external stakeholders, right? I will correct it, right? Wait. The owners are the stakeholders of John Keel's holding. We can take as the internal stakeholders of that organization. And the employees are the supermarket staff, right? Keel's holding is a supermarket chain, right? So therefore, supermarket staff members we can take as the internal stakeholder party, right? And customers are the shoppers, right? Customers are external stakeholders, right? And suppliers are the farmers and distributors who supply fruits and the vegetables, right? Uh, and the government is also the external stakeholders, right? And the community expects kids to act responsibility, right? Maybe by reducing plastic use, right? And the type of communities we can take as external stakeholders. So you see, every business has many different stakeholders, right? Uh, and these stakeholders have objectives, right? Without a reason, they are not looking at our businesses. They also have some kind of objectives. Uh, let's see what are the objectives of our stakeholders. Different stakeholders have different expectations, right? Owners and shareholders, they want profit and the growth. For example, John Keel's shareholders expect dividends, right? They also expect profit, right? So, and the employees of an organization, they want fair salaries. They are working for a salary, right? And they expect job security and career growth, right? For instance, staff at Sampath Bank value training and promotions, right? They expect training and promotion. They need to gain some kind of good experience, good training, right? Likewise. And the customers. Customers are the persons who buy goods and the services from a business, right? So they want high quality goods and the services, right? For example, dial-up customers want strong signal coverage and fast internet. And suppliers are the providers of raw materials, transport facilities, and etc. Right? They provide raw materials, transport facilities, and etc. Right? To front businesses, right? So their objective is the payment, timely payments, and the steady demand, right? So local farmers who supply vegetables to Cargills, they expect fair prices, right? And government expect tax and legal compliance. For example, businesses must pay VAT tax and income tax, right? So that's the expectation of the government. And communities, they expect social responsibility. Communities, they expect social responsibilities, right? Many Sri Lankan companies like Hemas Group support health and education projects in communities, right? And balancing all these objectives is not easy. Actually, it is not an easy task, right? But successful business manage to do it well, right? The successful businesses must manage that well, right? Okay, so let's have an kind of summary for today lesson, right? Okay. Now you all have some kind of idea about the background of the businesses, right? A business is an economic activity that satisfies needs and the wants. Right now, you remember that every business is based on a concept and they have They have some objectives like profits, customer satisfaction, and employee welfare, right? So businesses can be divided into two separate categories like manufacturing and service types, right? Okay, and we learned regarding four factors of production. What are them? Land, labor, capital, and entrepreneurship. Those all four factors are needed to run a business, right? And we learned about stakeholders and their objectives as well, right? I hope this session gave you a strong idea, strong understanding about the background of businesses. If you enjoyed this lesson, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe my channel.